Alright, so I just want to give my quick thoughts on that PlayStation State of Play that happened last week. I actually caught some of it, most of it, and I will be honest, it actually had some cool stuff to show. So I'm not going to say that, all those games look like trash or anything. That Rooster game, whatever the hell that was supposed to be, that medieval war Rooster game where you're playing as a rooster, actually looks really cool. I think it's called Project Windless because roosters can't fly, so it's Project Windless. I think that was the best thing that was shown there. They showed the God of War trilogy, and it's probably going to come to the Switch 2. They ended it on a very stupid, retarded-looking God of War 2D game that looks like an indie game. That's what it looks like. It just looks like an indie game, like one of these indie games similar to Hollow Knight Silksong. That's what it looked like in a way, like just the art style and everything. I'm like, that just looks like a game you could play on your computer. You could just find it and play it for free on the web browser. That's what it looked like, literally. That's what they ended it on. And that was, I guess that was like the most disappointing thing of the State of Play. What else did they have? They had some weird octopus game that's like a Metal Gear Solid game, but you're playing as an octopus instead. So it's like a weird spin-off Metal Gear Solid octopus game. I'm trying to remember what else. Oh yeah, of course this Metal Gear Solid collection. I think it was like Metal Gear Solid 2 and 4 or 3 or something like that. It was one that was on a PlayStation 3. Anyways, you had that, which I believe was confirmed to be coming to the Switch 2. I could be wrong, but I think it is coming to the Switch 2. Yeah, for the most part, most of the games that were shown did not look bad at all. That being said, a lot of them weren't really... There was not a lot of like first-party exclusives for PlayStation. So, as usual, what they do is they show some really cool games that we've never seen before, and it turns out that they're not really exclusive to their system at all. Now look, when Nintendo does this, it pisses me off. I get angry at Nintendo for doing stuff like this. Like, Nintendo showed this really awesome game or whatever, but it's a multiplayer game. It's a third-party game. It's like, why the fuck are you doing that? Why? It's so stupid. Like, you have to be the first to reveal this third-party game that's going to be playable on all consoles. Like, what's the point? Like, are they just paying you a lot of money to do that? Is it kind of like a hook? Like, okay, well, us revealing this really big third-party game is going to get more people to watch the entire presentation. I'm not sure, but I don't like that. I usually don't like that. It's like, you should always use a direct or a showcase to show off first-party exclusives mainly, and there weren't really a lot here in this PlayStation State of Play at all. So while the games that were shown were good or looked really awesome and it looked appealing, it's not like I'm sold on a PlayStation 5. Like, no, definitely not. Especially me of all people. But like, anybody with a brain who could do simple research can see that, okay, most of these games aren't even exclusive. These reveals are games that are going to come to other systems. So do I really need to play any of these games, or do I need, let me rephrase that, do I even need to buy PlayStation for any of these games? But I think what PlayStation does, I think PlayStation, they probably realize there's a lot of stupid people in this world who are fucking lazy and don't do research, and so they just they'll have a showcase or whatever, and they'll show off these games, right? These new games never before seen or whatever, coming to PlayStation 5, and they're just going to assume that a lot of dumb people out there will look at that and be like, I gotta get a PlayStation 5 to play these, when in actuality they don't need to get a PlayStation to play these games. That seems to be PlayStation's strategy, is just trying to bank on people's stupidity and ignorance and just laziness, and not their lack of being able to just do simple research. That seems to be the PlayStation strategy, So yeah, most of these games not exclusive to the PlayStation 5. It may be except the God of War one. What was another game that was shown? that may have been just exclusive for the PlayStation 5 only. I don't know. I don't even think the God of War trilogy is exclusive. I think that's going to be a multiplayer game. But yeah, that seems to be their strategy, is like pretend that these games are only going to be on PlayStation 5, even though they don't have to say it, but they show it off in their own showcase, and they just say coming to PS5, and they assume that that's going to be good enough to trick people. And it probably does work. There's probably a lot of just stupid idiots out there that look at that and they're just going to be like, oh, I got to get a PlayStation 5 for these games. Look at all these games that they're getting, without, having the common sense to do research and realize that it's a game going to every system. But all in all, yeah, this, like, if I had to give this showcase a grade, if it was just a regular showcase, just a regular video game showcase, definitely gets like, I would say probably maybe a 9 out of 10. But a showcase, as far as it being just for PlayStation, and, what would it be like if I was a PlayStation fan? Would I be happy about this showcase? I probably would give it a 7 out of 10, just because, again, there was not that many first party that were shown. There were not that many exclusives shown off. So while there was some cool stuff to be seen, the fact that most of them are going to end up on other systems, it definitely takes a lot of points away from it. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will talk to y'all later.